Hello, hello, hello. All right. So thank you for joining Talks with Tiff. This is our February edition, and I have a very special guest here. But first, Talk with Tip is a segment that was inspired by the Color of Wellness magazine, and it's just a way to get to know the contributors of the magazine. You read the content, so it's a way to see the people behind the content and just showcase the work that they do. So the mission of the Color of Wellness magazine is to spread awareness about holistic wellness among communities of color. We also aim to improve physical, emotional, spiritual, social well-being by providing awareness, support, and education. So I always like to start my segment with an affirmation. So the affirmation for today is I choose healthy ways to deal with my stress, and I trust myself to deal with whatever arises. All right. So we are going to jump right in. So, hello again to anyone that is joining us from the Facebook page of the Color of Wellness, LinkedIn, and also YouTube. So, hello. Thank you for joining. My guest tonight is another boss. Okay. I'm going to read from notes because I need to let you know how much of a boss she is. All right. So some of her accomplishments include being a board certified nurse practitioner, a stress solution strategist, an international speaker, a #1 best-selling author, and certified John Maxwell trainer and coach with more than 20 years in the healthcare industry. But wait, she is also the assistant director, clinical project scientist at Janssen Research and Development. She is the CEO, the CEO of the Stress Blueprint, creator of the Nurse Wellness Mentorship, host of the Nurse Wellness Podcast, and she's a 2022 contributor of the Color of Wellness magazine. It is my pleasure to welcome Wendy Garvin Mayo.
Thank you, Tiffany. That was a wonderful welcome. Listening to all of the accolades, I'm like, oh, who is that?
It's you.
Yes, thank you so much. So excited to be here with you tonight.
Great. Thank you for being here. And again, thank you for everyone that's joining us on live stream. So we'll hop right in. What made you want to be a nurse?
To be honest, I really think it's my mom. My mom worked in a hospital for many years, and I'm from Boston originally. So I live in Connecticut now. But being raised in Boston, my mom worked in a hospital in downtown Boston, and I used to go to work with her every now and then. And I vividly remember the nurses. Vividly, I remember the white clogs, the white uniforms, and that stuck with me. And I originally thought I wanted to be a teacher. But then as I got older and I went to high school, I joined the health professions sector of high school.
Mhm.
And it was all nursing. I became a CNA very early on. I think I don't know, a teenager, like 15. And I
Yeah.
was a CNA. I got my certification because I've been working since I was like 14 and still
Wow.
working. But yeah,
Wow.
but I would have to say it was my mom that really inspired me, just exposing me to the healthcare field so early on and witnessing nurses taking care of patients. And I remember the clogs vividly, the white clogs. I don't know why. The white clogs are like stuck in my head. But yeah, I think, in nursing and my personality and just, the way I serve, it just aligns with who I am. And I have to tell you, it's one of the best decisions I made in my life.
I feel the same way. And you still are a teacher because as nurses, we teach patients, we teach each other, we teach mentors, the community. So you check off both boxes, I
Oh
feel.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so the name of your business is the Stress Blueprint. So tell us what made you start the business and how you came up with that name.
Yeah, so the Stress Blueprint was really born out of the pandemic. So before COVID, I was just working at home as a clinical scientist doing research. I had my son when the pandemic hit, and I was stressed, because I was the strong one, right? I'm the one that everyone came to for answers and questions. What about this virus, X, Y, or Z? But
Right.
I was dealing with my own stressors. And what I always say is I was wrestling with my purpose because, like I said, I was working
Mm.
from home. And in my gut, I felt like I needed to be on the
You
front
need to
line.
be out there. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like
Mm-hmm.
guilt, but I was afraid because I just had my baby. I had my new husband. My elderly mother was here, and we know COVID was killing people. We didn't know anything really about COVID. But I
Mm-hmm.
had this thing in me that I need to go back to work. And my mother was adamant that that's not something I should do because I'm a new mom. So I was just struggling with all of these things, emotions. And I always talk about my grandfather. He told me, in this chapter of my life, when I first graduated from nursing school, you have to set your sail. And that was many years ago.
Mm.
And those words resonated with me at that time. So I made the decision. And that one decision to go back to work in the clinical setting changed my life and really put me on the trajectory to entrepreneurship. So I always say that I've been able to serve on a whole different level that I didn't even know I was capable of. And it's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And because of that experience, I'm able to help other people manage their stress. So I started off with caregivers. I have another business called
Mhm.
Shape Partners, where I provide services to cancer caregivers, help them manage their stress and just get through um, being a caregiver, which is hard because cancer
Yes.
impacts not only the patient, but the family and caregivers.
Mhm.
So in doing that, nurses started to gravitate to me to say, oh, we need something like this. So I was like, well, how do I do that? Because Shape Partners is specifically for cancer caregivers. So then was born the Stress Blueprint. And within the Stress Blueprint, I have the Nurse Wellness Mentorship that you mentioned, and I also have the Stress Blueprint Academy. And the name really comes from I have a 5-step formula that is the blueprint for stress management. So that's where the name came from.
I
A
love
proven blueprint.
prove it. Yes.
Blueprint.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I love it. And I love the fact that we all have a story behind our purpose and why we do what we do. And I love your story. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to just say that we all have a story, we all have a
Mhm.
purpose, and that's what drives me to do what I do. Because if stress isn't managed, it's going to be really hard for you to unwrap your gifts and share them with the world. So
Absolutely.
that's a motivator for what I do.
Absolutely. And that is a great lead into my next question. So, February is Heart Month. So we are still in Heart Month, a few days left. And we know that stress plays a pretty large role in the development of several conditions and dis-ease. Um, so we know that nurses are experiencing burnout and they are quitting the profession at alarming rates. What can healthcare institutions do to help nurses manage stress?
So this is a really great question, and I'm excited that we're talking about it because right now we are experiencing a nursing shortage crisis, and I'm not sure if the public is aware of that. We are in crisis mode. And
Crisis.
I always say, what would happen if you go to the hospital and there are no nurses? What would happen? Right. So
Mhm.
what needs to happen? And I'm not sure, it's not one thing, it's many things, it's
Right.
multidimensional. But
Mhm.
I think this is a time where we need to look to nursing leaders and really figure out if they have the tools they need. Because talking about stress,
Mhm.
I know nurses are stressed on the front lines, but who is supposed to provide the resources and guidance to them? It's the leaders. who are also
Right.
suffering from stress and
Right.
burnout, right?
Right.
And I think when we think about stress and burnout in terms of healthcare professionals, we just think about occupational stress, but we are human. We are human beings. After
Mhm.
we leave the hospital, we go to our families, we enter our own lives, right? So,
Yes.
which is also stressful because this
Mhm.
pandemic has shifted us, mentally, physically, emotionally,
Yeah,
professionally, personally. So we're
absolutely.
dealing with a lot. But I think healthcare institutions, what they need to do is they need to collaborate with individuals like myself who can provide
Mhm.
sustainable solutions and resources to their nurse leaders and their clinical nurse staffs in terms of stress management, personal and professional development, because they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So it really starts with investing money,
Yes.
time, and energy
Yes. Mhm.
into the health, wellness, and overall well being of their nurses and nurse leaders. Matter of fact, all healthcare professionals, because everyone is feeling the brunt
The
of
burn.
and burn.
Mhm. Absolutely. And I think that's so important what you said, because I feel like leaders know that they need to do something, but they don't know what. So that's why what you're doing and the work that you are providing is so important, because it gives them the how.
Absolutely. The what's important, but the how is more so important. So, like,
Absolutely.
we know what the what is. We're in crisis mode, and this whole nursing shortage, stress, burnout, um, they're not new, right? I mean, we've been dealing with them before the pandemic. The
Right.
pandemic has really magnified them and meteorized them. So now everyone knows about nursing and what we do, and being heroes or whatever they call us, but we are suffering. I mean, suicide rates are high in nurses. As you know, I'm sure you're aware. I'm not sure if the general public knows that.
Right.
Mental illness, PTSD. And these are individuals who are caring for society,
Right.
they'll be caring for you, me, our families. It's going to have a huge impact on society. And I don't think people really understand the
Mhm.
implications of what's happening in the nursing profession right now.
Mm. You just said a word, all of that, all of it. Yes, 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 yes. So, are there any projects that you're working on that you can tell us about?
Yes, so I am working on developing, actually, it's developed the stress solution series, which is it's a series, it's a workshop. It'll be a 7-day workshop, and it will start on March 28th.
Okay.
And we'll be talking about stress and really how to develop your personal stress blueprint. Because we all know about stress and we say, oh, we in our society, right? We really glorify stress. We wear it as a badge of honor, as we want
Right.
everyone say, but stress can kill you. I mean, that's really the
Sure.
bottom line. Stress can kill you. So stress
Yeah.
management is so important. So this series is really going to talk about the implications of stress, help people unpack their stressors, and develop their blueprint on how they can manage their stress. So I'm super pumped and excited about this series. So we'll kick off on Monday, March 28th. And yeah, so and it's free of charge. It's really service. So I'm just serving on a whole different level, um,
Yes. That's good.
providing this just to bring awareness, that stress is something that we need to take serious, especially us being African Americans.
Yes.
We need to take it very serious. And Tiffany, you mentioned something about just Heart Month, right? Of being in February, and I think
Yeah.
people are so inundated with COVID, the pandemic, but we still have to take care of our health
Yeah.
outside of COVID, like your high blood pressure,
Absolutely.
your diabetes, your cancer screenings, your colonoscopy, all these things we still have to take care of,
Right.
and be aware of. So I love that you said it's Heart Month. So hopefully, everyone who's listening went for your wellness check, what your blood pressure is, your cholesterol levels, because
Mhm.
that's important.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you so much all of your social media information, your Facebook, Instagram tags, as well as your website are scrolling. If you type in www when you go to her website, just take out www. Sometimes there's an issue with depending on which browser you're on. Is that right, Wendy?
Yes. So you can go to stressblueprint.com to connect with me. If you use Chrome, you can do www.stressblueprint.com, but just type in stressblueprint.com and yeah, that's where I'll be. And if you're interested in going to the series, just go to the website, type in your name, and I look forward to seeing you there.
Yay! Wendy, thank you. Oh, did you?
No. I just wanted to say that I wanted to just really take an opportunity to say thank you to you and Michelle Green Rhodes for creating this platform for Black wellness by Black nurses. Really, the trailblazer. I mean, she's making history and
Yes, she is.
just creating a platform for us and the Black community. It's just awesome. So I just want to take an opportunity to say thank you, Michelle Green Rhodes. You are a visionary, trailblazer, and I'm just so excited to be a part of the project.
Yay! Wendy, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing. I look forward to seeing you on social media and reposting and doing as much advertising and awareness about what you're doing as I can. And in honor of Heart Month, Black History Month, hashtag we celebrate all year long. And you, as well as Michelle, I am going to give you your flowers now. So I'm going to virtually give you your flowers.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything. For everyone in the audience, thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure you go follow Wendy, myself, and the Color of Wellness magazine on all social media platforms. And again, Wendy's information is scrolling on the screen. So until next month, thank you so much. Stay safe, be well, and remember, health is wealth. Anything else, Wendy?
I'm all set. I'm all set. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Hope to see you.
Thank you. All right. Good night.